Okay, guys, welcome back to Chatbot Domination. Today we are into module number 3, and we are going to start the theory section of this module is going to be very short because 90% of the whole module will be practical. We will be going step by step, and I'll show you how to create a sequence for the registration bot, as well as what needs to go behind the thought process of each message that I'm putting up, as well as where we should be doing all the important taggings and everything. Okay, the notification and all those stuff. So those are the important stuff, and those are the fun part. So registration bots for the Facebook ads. Let's just start with the objective of this course, which is just to supplement and complement your I Am Freedom Workshop campaigns that you are already running. It is just tagging on a registration bot so that it can handle your registration process and gives your user or your leads a brand new user experience, as opposed to the generic ClickFunnels opt-in page or capture page, whereas the people has to fill up a form in order to opt in or to register for the workshop. So we have a brand new workflow. Okay, so the first thing to remember is that, of course, you should already have your own schedule as to which I Am Freedom workshop that you are going to promote. One of the things which I like about my own flow is because I have managed to make the overall flow a whole lot more efficient, in the sense that right now I have only one registration bot for multi-cities and one capture page on ClickFunnels for multi-city. So basically, I only have one funnel and one registration bot, and that allows me to handle as many cities as I want. Okay, as opposed to previously, we were all taught to have a single funnel for every individual city, and that needs to go into its own autoresponder mailing list. And it also needs to, well, everything is individual previously, right? So for instance, if you are doing one single city every week, which is at least your strategy, because if you don't have one campaign going up every week, you're basically limiting your traffic funnel, your traffic tap. Okay, people are not flowing into your IMF Freedom Workshop, and if people are not flowing into IM Freedom Workshop, people are not registering into the HBS. So without your campaigns for the Iron Freedom Workshop, there's basically no possibility of people buying tickets to HBS. Okay, so consider setting up at least a campaign every week, and not forgetting, we are going to monitor every campaigns, right? On Facebook ads, we are going to need to monitor, and if one campaign on one single week doesn't work, so we have to quickly replace that, stop that, and replace it with another campaign. For instance, let's just say, let's just look at the January calendar here, and my strategy could be, for instance, I'm doing New York for this week, I'm doing Singapore, and I'm doing Auckland, and I'm doing London. Okay, so the whole of the month I have a funnel running every week. Let's say, for instance, on the second day, I'm already monitoring and I'm figure out that, okay, Singapore is not working. So I turn off Singapore, and straight away I need to make sure that my Chico is up and running. So I have to create a brand new funnel, a brand new autoresponder mailing list, and things like that. So everything I have to start from scratch, duplicate and customize. So the next day, if I were to find that, okay, Auckland is not working out too well, so I'm spending too much money and it's over budget and I'm not getting enough registration, I turn that off, and then I have to start doing either Birmingham or Cleveland or Orlando, one of these, just so that I maintain a 4 funnels or 4 campaigns every month, like that. The more the better. Those people who are making a lot of money in MOB are those people who have money to throw into Facebook ads, and they're doing almost every events out there. Okay, so that means you will have at least 4 funnels to manage if not more. If you do more, like for instance, if you do 8 or 10 campaigns per month, you will have, your time is going to be spent creating and managing 10 individual funnels. So that is what I don't like. That takes up too much of my time, and that's the reason why I came up with my own workflow. Okay, and this is roughly my workflow. The flow implementation is actually pretty similar to what you have been doing. The only difference is that I'm not implementing the registration within Capture Page. I'm implementing it in my registration bot. Okay, so this button within my Capture Page is going to bring people to my registration bot, and the registration bot is going to step by step make it super easy. It's even easier than your ClickFunnels, because ClickFunnels requires you to type in your information. On my registration bot, there's just tap, 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 go. Done. Just a few taps and it's all done. And I also ensure that people are using their legit email and legit phone number, rather than allowing people to freely enter any fake emails or fake phone numbers like that. So that is the power of messenger marketing, the power of using a bot to manage registration. Okay, that alone is big for me. Now the thank you page is optional. You can do the thank you page for pixel tracking purposes, or you can even just ignore it, meaning you can bypass it altogether. So it depends on you, doesn't matter. And then after that, this is another section over here. Okay, let me just move on to the one. This is what we are going to do. Okay, the MANYCHAT bot. The second one is digital ticket. Now, digital ticket is, as I mentioned before, is just a little process that I've put in just to give people who register a process of instant gratification, meaning they can download the digital ticket. It just gives them something to receive after downloading. And once they received it, it will always be on their phone, and it's harder for them to misplace. It's harder for them to forget. Okay, as opposed to email marketing, they may not download, they may not open the email, and even if they downloaded it and on their computer, for instance, when they're out and about, they may not be able to access that file, for instance, right? And as part of the new implementation, I'm going to give you my multi-city capture page and Freedom capture page, and we will also be going into how we're going to use tracking sheet. Okay, right. We were talking about 1, 2, 3. We were talking about the tracking sheet on Google Sheet. This is again an optional step, in the sense that again we will go into the integration in the next module. This is important to me because if you don't track it, you will not know whom goes missing in your back office. Which lead has registered but did not show up in your back office, whether they tag to you or they're not tagged to you. The problem is that we have a system which is not that efficient. Sometimes there's small percentage of people who registers who are not tracked to you, who are tracked with someone else for whatever reasons. They have registered with someone else before, and for that reason, within the first 60 days, they will always be tagged to that original sponsor, so it won't be with you. But you will never know because you don't track. But that is not so important, in the sense that there's nothing we can do about that, because it's in the system that they're tagged to someone else, right? But the most important thing is those people who are tagged to us that doesn't show up in our back office, meaning if they upgrade, we will never know, and we may never even get a single cent. Okay, and the other part is that those who are not tagged to anyone, who just somehow goes missing into the system, and you wouldn't know if you don't do tracking. You know what I mean. So what happens is that I do my own tracking. I have my own list. When people register on an event, it goes into my Google Sheet. And when I go and do my bulk registration, in my back office, I would be able to receive an instant email from Mob to let me know whom has registered, whom did not register, whom is registered and tagged to me, whom has registered and not tagged to me, like that. So I will know which lead is missing from my back office. So I will be able to submit a ticket, and I will get an answer from support. Now the problem here lies within the system where if they are not tagged to anyone, it's just basically it's either captured or it's not captured, so no one knows, right? So support will come back to me and let me know that this person hasn't been captured into the system. You may want to go and re-register that person again. So I know what I need to do. I go and re-register. Okay, but there's another scenario where it's captured in the system, but it is not tagged to me for whatever reason. It's not tagged to anyone. So I guess it goes to Mob. All right. So if I check with them, then Mob will be able to re-tag it back to me, and they will reply with an email that says that this person is now tagged to you. And then I will go to my back office and I will check. If that person shows up, everything is hunky dory, everything is fine. Sometimes even when I receive the email from support and it says that it's already been tagged to me, and when I go into my back office, I don't see that person, I will have to submit another support ticket to support, and then only they will do a manual entry to make sure that person goes into my back office. Okay, they will always not admit anything. They will always say that it's already in your back office. They'll show me a screenshot, but the fact that prior to that, it's not in my back office. After they do whatever they do, then it shows up in my back office, and that's all I want to do. That person, that lead shows up in my back office. It means every missing registrations or leads is a possible 20,000 or more to me. So that's the reason why I bothered to do this, and that's the reason why I need to treat every possible lead as a $20,000 lead. Okay, customers or client or consultant. So that's the reason. That's why I do what I need to do in terms of tracking on Google Sheet. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do this. Okay, it's just an additional step that you have to do. You have to learn to do. You don't have to, because you know why? I know some six figures earner doesn't even bother to do this. They don't even care about tracking. Okay, they just whatever they do on their landing page, on the capture page, they basically just redirect people to the actual event registration page at the end of the flow over here. So they don't manage anything. They don't even need to care about autoresponder. Okay, in fact, we can even use Zapier to pull the data the moment they register on the ClickFunnels. That same data can be pulled without integration into your autoresponder. We can use Zapier to pull that data into your autoresponder. Okay, without having a form here. So basically, these people redirect their leads to the actual registration page. The leads to do their own registration on the actual registration page, and that's it. They don't even need to bother, and they're still making high six figures income. So this is totally up to you whether you want to simplify your process or not to do it. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so I have another even more minimalist flow, which is basically from my ad, it goes into my registration bot. That means I totally bypass my capture page on ClickFunnels. All right, so everything is on here. And of course, I use Zapier to put the data into my Google Sheet. And again, imagine if you just ignore this Google Sheet part, you can do so. You don't have to do tracking. It's not a must. It's even more minimalist. It's even simpler. You imagine that this whole thing is gone. Okay, you have only two steps, and that's it. Done. That's the simplification. That's the leverage that I have been going after. That's the automation that I've been going after to make my life a lot more simple. Okay, so my multi-city capture page, which is always available. I am not getting rid of it because there are some people who requires more information. They basically don't read, whether they read or they don't read my ad, because my ad actually has a lot of information. A lot of people, you may be surprised to find that they don't read the ad. So they go into they click on the ad, and then it goes into my bot, and then they start asking questions like, where is it? Whereas the information was already given on my ad. And they start asking questions like, give me more information. So when I have people like that asking for more information, I will send them a link to my capture page on ClickFunnels. Okay, I'm just pushing it over to this flow, and within the button, it will always, if they wanted to register, they'll come back to my registration bot. Okay, so it's all good, all looped up, all connected. So that's basically the simplified flow that I'm going to share with you. This is an alternative flow that you can use. Okay, registration bot is what we are going to build today. Okay, so the experience will be something similar to what you're seeing here. This is a landing page, by the way. The opt-in page is my landing page. My landing page is created on MANYCHAT, and that serves the purpose to me, that serves the purpose of ClickFunnels. Okay, it's very simplified version because it's just one paragraph. You can make it longer if you want to, but I just make it simplified because you know what? Once they have read the headlines and they know that what they are getting into, basically they're registering for a free event, a free workshop, right? And they're interested to learn about building business, a turnkey business system in 2018. And all they wanted to do is just register for the events, and that's what my bot will do. Okay, it will take them step by step what they needed to do in order to do the registration. Okay, and the first thing, of course, welcome and select country, and then after that, I'll capture the email, the mobile, and the date. And the last part is that I will allow them to select a timing, and that is the last process of the registration, and then confirmation and redirect to any page that I want to redirect them to.